Hello. Welcome to episode. Is it episode 9? Yeah, I think it's episode 9 um, of my portfolio update. So today, just to do a very quick update. I think the last time I did one was 2 weeks ago, um, and at the time, if I remember correctly, I think it was in and around 19,000, which means I was about £1,000 down. Um, since then, I actually went down even further than that. At one point, I think it did touch above 18,000 pounds at one point, and a lot of it came from Synergin, which at the time dropped to, I think it was about a pound sort of range. If I Yeah, it actually dropped to less than a pound 2 weeks ago, as you can see, which meant that I was considerably in the red because my average is about a pound 19. Um, so since then, it's skyrocketed back up to placing price, which is about a pound 75. Um, what happened? Nothing. Has there been any sort of new news? Nothing. Nothing has changed whatsoever. There's one tiny little bit of details, which is an in vitro test showing that it works on other variants of this virus that we're all going through. I didn't think that was anything new for me, not me personally. It wasn't news because it's always been advertised as a broad spectrum antiviral, which means it should work against all the viruses. So this is some sort of confirmation of it, but otherwise there hasn't been any new news. Um, Even I don't quite understand why it's going up. It's either, there's an expectation that the P3 phase 3 trials are gonna finish earlier than expected, or maybe there's some sort of insider information somewhere. But over the past week, this has been going up, like as in just it just keeps going up. Every day is a new high. Obviously, this is not the highest it's ever been, but this is the highest it's been for a very long time. Um, since I think the last time I did anything with this was the 9th of March. So if I tried to sort of get to 9th of March on this graph, um, so it was around this price the last time I bought any, and then it sort of trended downwards and it's now going back up. For me, nothing has changed. This either excels as a the phase 3 probably does well, and this company gets bought out before the end of the year, or it doesn't do well and it's back to the sort of drawing board for them, which means the price plummets. Even I don't even want to think about how much it's gonna plummet. Either way, it's the risk that I've chosen for this particular investment, and yes, it is showing as a substantial amount or percentage of my portfolio. It's actually 15,000 if I'm correct, and the gains is about almost 7,000 for this. So yes, that's how much I've said in my head from day one that I want to put into this. Um, I've started building position in what I consider um, one of the long term sort of holds for me, which means 5 to 10 years. Um, I haven't really got a price target for Noversight yet, in the sense of what prices they get to before I can sell. Um, but I've just put a time horizon on it, saying, I just want to own this for 5 years, because I feel like this company are gonna do something pretty extraordinary. They're doing it already, but I feel like there's just so much more to come outside of this pandemic. Um, in terms of pricing, as in what I want to, what price I've sort of been buying in at. I think the last buy was just a few days ago, which was about £3.50. Currently, my average is £4, and I'm currently down, about £900. It's about 12%. For me, any new money that comes in will be going towards this. I'm currently building two positions, or I plan on building two positions for the next 3 months. And it's Novocyte and another company called Sourcebio, and that is in my Trading 212 account that I will share at some point. I don't know why I haven't shared it yet, but I will share it at some point. My videos are long enough as it is, without having to add that to it. But I will make a separate video for that on another day. So those two positions, any money that comes in will be going directly into those two positions, and I look to build this to at least a £20,000 investment, maybe by the end of this year. Um, what's missing in this, well, since the last sort of update, is a company called N4 Pharma, and it's a company that I've just put down as a very not very expensive. It's sort of an expensive lesson for me. I initially went into N4 Pharma as a new investor for I wouldn't say the wrong reason, because I still like the company and I still pretty much believe in what they do. But at the earlier stage of my investing journey, I read a lot of LSE chats, and as you can probably imagine, there's a lot of rampers and derampers, and I think I sort of listened or fell victim to the ramping a bit, and hastily went into this, without completely knowing what I was going into. Funny enough, I wasn't fully. I was very confident in the science and synergy as well, but in terms of time frame, I'm completely off. My initial time frame was, this all phase 3 would have been done by February or March, because I was very much inexperienced in the sense of how complex a phase 3 trial is and how long they do take. But over the last few months, I've had to read through, or I've had the opportunity to read through how this trials goes, the phase 1, the phase 2s, and the phase 3s. So basically, drug discovery, and now you get them to market, and complexities of commercializing these things and all of this. And with that new knowledge, I'm able to sort of think better on my investments. N4 Pharma, they are at a very early stage of their drug development, and for whatever reason, I'd gone into it thinking something was gonna come off of it, like at least some substantial news. I think around December, and then I pushed it forward to around March, and then I was like around May or June, and it's not the fault. I don't think it's the fault of the management or anything else. It's just my expectations were naive. Let's just put it that way. And I'd got in at not a terrible average, I think the first I bought in was around the 11p mark, and then I bought some more around 8p. So I was able to average down to about £9.80. But still, for me, that was still a bit high in terms of averages. So I took the opportunity when the shares went to about £8, 8p 70 or something like that, and sold out of it at a. I think the whole loss from this venture should be about £600 or something like that. But it's definitely a lesson. 600 is a lot less than um, you know it could have been, um, to learn this kind of a lesson at the early stage of my sort of journey. But it's a good lesson to learn. Um, I've still got it on my watch list, and I still follow it, and I like reading the LSE chat room and keep in touch with it. But it's just that I feel um, that I'm way too early. It's too early for everything else. Like for me personally, it's too early on an investment for me, and I'd prefer to come in, even though the shares will rise, and I might be coming in at a very much higher uh, price. I would still prefer to come in at a later stage. Um, it's having putting money into this early stage companies when um, I'm sort of early in the market as well, and I'm trying to sort of build wealth. I don't think would be is the best approach. I'd like to at least have some spare change to get to a point where I've got spare change, and then I can put it into this companies. But in the meantime, I'd like to aggressively put money into companies that I feel like they've got a very they've got something going on, basically, um, in terms of again coming to market very soon with Synergin, or being a cash cow, which Novocyte is. Sospio that I mentioned, again, cash cow, making a lot of money from PCR testing and the likes. But that's pretty much it from me. The lesson was, know what you're going into, and know it very well. I didn't sell because um, it was just because I actually wanted to put the money into an oversight. So the money I came straight out of that went into an oversight, um, and so basically for the next, as I've mentioned, for the next 3 months, um, I'd like to concentrate my portfolio into I think a group of 4 or 5 companies. Uh, But that's pretty much it from me. I'd like to bring. I'll probably make an update at some point, maybe next week or the week after. But I wouldn't leave it a month before making another one of this. Thank you, and God bless.